8 strangest places where people actually live. 8. The Monasteries of Meteora, Greece. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is an official holy place for Greece. Since 1995, Meteora has evolved into a center for the preservation of the 2,000-year-old Christian Orthodox faith. Only 6 of the original 24 monasteries still survive and are open to visitors today. A large complex of enormous rock pillars and monasteries built on ancient sandstone cliffs provides a singular perspective of nature's magnificence. 7. Mygingo Island. Less than half of a football field is taken up by the island that resembles an iron-plated turtle, but more than 500 people live there. According to sources, Mygingo is located near Lake Victoria and has caused conflict between Uganda and Kenya because they can't agree on who actually owns it. Over the island, they had once been driven to the verge of what some claimed would have been Africa's smallest conflict. Both nations jointly administrate the island in the meantime, however conflicts do periodically arise. 6. Dina River House. This cottage, which goes by unnamed, has been perched atop a rock in the midst of the river for more than 40 years. What's more amazing is the tale of how this mansion came to be built in such an odd location. A group of young friends built it in 1968 when they were looking for a peaceful, isolated location to create a refuge for sunbathing. After a refreshing dip, the guys set out to transfer timber from an abandoned warehouse. They utilized improvised canoes and boats to cross the river and to float over some of the heavier pieces of wood. Thus, one of the most recognizable wooden homes in the nation was born. And ever then, the owner of Dina River House has used it as a getaway during the holidays. The one-room cabin is situated on the edge of the stunning natural scenery of the Tara National Park in Serbia, close to the city of Bajina Basta, in the middle of the Dina River. 5. Hanging Temple of Hungshan. The Hanging Temple, which is situated in one of China's 5 great mountains, is a popular destination for tourists. The monastery has been suspended from Mount Hang in Shanxi province for more than 1,500 years. It is nailed to the side of the mountain. According to legend, the Hanging Monastery was constructed in 491 AD, towards the end of the Northern Wei dynasty. The development of these hanging temples is thought to have been started by a solitary monk by the name of Liao Ran. The location was ideal for folks who were meditating because ground sounds did not reach such high altitudes. 4. Chongni's Floating Village. One of the richest inland fishing grounds in the world, it is home to more than 1 million people as well as more than 200 different varieties of fish. There are little floating communities where people live on houseboats that are floating above the water, huge 1,042 square miles lake. The Tonle Sap Lake, the largest freshwater lake in all of Southeast Asia, is found in the Siem Reap region of Cambodia, where Chongnis is situated. The floating hamlet of Chongnis attracts throngs of visitors, and the boat excursion makes 2 stops, the first at a touristy floating fish and bird show and the second at the Gecko Environment Center. Living on the water is not a cultural practice that the people of the floating communities of Chongnis treasure and want to maintain. The people responded when asked about their living conditions that they preferred to live off the land, have access to clean water and sanitary facilities, and have their kids attend legitimate schools. 3. Kuber Pidi. This area is not for the weak-hearted in any way. To begin with, it can get rather hot. In the summer, the temperature can get to 113 degrees. For protection from the intense heat of the area, many Kuper Pedi inhabitants choose to live underground. Dugouts, as they are known locally, are where homes, taverns, churches, and other buildings can be found. The opal capital of the world is Kuper Pedi, a little settlement in southern Australia's outback. It seems that the area became the epicenter of opal mining after a youngster discovered opal gemstones a long time ago. The town holds the title of opal capital of the world since it is thought to be responsible for 70% of global opal output. Coober Pedy in Australia seems like it belongs in a movie, which is probably because it does. For the 1985 filming of Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, Mel Gibson, Tina Turner, and a crew arrived on this desolate mining town in the South Australian outback. 2. Santuario Madonna della Corona. On Italy's Mount Baldo, in front of Val d'Adige, it is built into a vertical rock face over 2,000 feet above sea level. The Lady of the Crown Shrine, Santuario Madonna della Corona, appears to be hovering in mid-air. Only a narrow trail from below and a street from above lead to the church. The chapel's once perilous mountain access route has been modernized, and the spectacular building is still a well-liked destination for pilgrims. The Scala Santa, a recreation of the Pilate's palace stairs that Jesus ascended before being given the order to be crucified, attracts tourists. 1. Freedom Cove. Off the coast of Tofino, British Columbia, is where you may find this unusual fairyland. A half-acre floating structure off the coast of Western Canada has been the site of Catherine King and Wayne Adams' dream house for 30 years. They have named it Freedom Cove. It's a forested area of ecoland outfitted with greenhouses, modest structures, and every wacky off-the-grid invention you can think of. The closest town is 10 miles distant by boat, and construction on Freedom Cove by King and Adams began there in 1992. They travel occasionally, but they primarily live off the land, growing practically all of their food on their floating farm. A dance floor, an art gallery, a candle factory, 4 greenhouses, 6 solar panels, and a small waterfall that continuously flows water are all located on this floating property.